Hey everyone. So I just got this crazy idea after watching this video on YouTube talking about UFOs are real, stuff like that. Anyways, I was just looking at the jets that the Air Force, the United States Air Force uses the jets. They're super fast. Actually, as a matter of fact, if they pass by us, they're so fast that they're 1 second they're there, the next they're just gone. They're that fast, right? We all know that it's pretty extreme, especially when they're flying right over your head. It's extreme. But anyway, so I was thinking about that, and then I seen one massive like cargo type of plane, and right alongside it there was two jetliners. With the well, I won't say with the, but like the ones that the United States military um um Air Force uses. And I was thinking that speed, although they're going super fast, that speed to them in that type of environment in flight, going, who knows how many miles, hundreds of miles per second. Um, like really, I mean, that's like compared to us human beings, being inside of a car traveling at 65 miles per hour. That's fast. And in the driver's handbook with the DMV in California, they actually provide some information regarding how long it takes or requires for a vehicle to come to a complete stop after traveling so many miles per hour per second. So I remember that 40 miles per hour is equivalent to someone jumping off of a two-story building, believe it or not. So they use that as a comparison, that if your vehicle stopped from 65 miles per hour, no, I'm sorry, from 40 miles per hour to complete zero, it'll be equivalent to you jumping out of the, or jumping from a two-story building and landing on the ground. That's crazy information. Right? I mean, tell me about it. Um, and I just wanted to use that illustration, not really to scare anyone or to make people think about, negative things, even though it's not negative, it's just being aware and understanding of every single situation. Um, But I mainly used it. I mainly started this video to describe that speed in a jetliner in everyone's, pretty much everyone's experiences in this life. And that's the way that I shared that story. So if you liked it, now you know how I, came up with the whole, storyline or whatever. Um, but Jesus Christ. It's just amazing how fast we're traveling. And in this video that I was just telling you guys about, like I mentioned earlier, it's regarding UFOs as well. So there's some stuff that comes out of the ocean and then it goes up to the sky. Like if it was like one humongous bird or whatever, they call them unidentified objects, UFOs. That's what it means, unidentified objects in the sky or whatever, right? Or not, I don't know. But anyway, uh, basically, um, it's just, you know, quite fascinating how rapidly these UFOs can travel. It's fascinating. So, whatever speed they are traveling at, to them that are on board in these vessels, to them it's like driving in a car. To them it doesn't feel like they're traveling at 60 miles per hour, 65 miles per hour, or hundreds and thousands of miles per hour. It's just like being inside of a room. Everyone's just kicking back. A ship, a boat. How is that even possible? We have to think about all that before we judge people or aliens or whatever. You know? Like, honestly, we need to think stuff through like some boss motherfuckers. And we need to try to figure out, okay, so these reports that people are filing are stating similar instances or reoccurrences, or their flight patterns, right? Like right now I seen one that went up and then sideways and then straight up and it took off, probably out of Earth. Um but we need to evaluate what could be happening in those instances when it's traveling this way, and then whatever other way, and then up, straight up. We need to see and study and try to come up with ideas to conceptualize, like to think of all of these, the way that this stuff can potentially be working or functioning in our way of understanding as humans, or people here on Earth, um, who might not be maybe 100% educated or whatever, because obviously these unidentified objects are coming out of the ocean into space. Now, before we jump into any conclusions, we need to look at that. What type of technology do we have today that can actually do this type of stuff? We have the ability to travel from a rocket to space. A jet will do the same thing, right? So, whatever it is that they're using, we should be able to figure that out. And we need to think about ways to really study this information because, I mean, maybe they're just high class people. Maybe they're just people just like all of us, driving or operating these heavier, um, $1 billion type of fucking jetliners, maybe even rare material type of, flight, or jetliner, like jets. So basically they are fucking, basically they are like jets. But they are Starlink jets. They're just, like they have the freedom to travel like that, right? And I'm super tired, but basically, we need to, study. We need to study. We need to, um, brainstorm a little bit more. We need to take the time to really sit down and meditate and just allowing God to reveal certain things to us and to open up our eyes, the whole 9 yards, because there's people all over the world, and we all know that there's very poor people and some people who are barely making it, scraping by, some people who have, who have it made, and some people who are just have more than enough, I guess. And it might be, and I'm not talking about your type of evaluation to that statement. I'm talking about more like, what if these UFOs were human just like us? And what if they're just operating outside of our way of thinking? What if they're more evolved, more mentally strong, and them having the ability and abilities to create better, maybe they're not just that, but maybe they are more intellectual, more obedient, where if someone says something, they're not going to do something on the contrary, you know? So it's like driving and operating a vehicle or an airplane. Like, they need to know that you're responsible. So maybe what it really comes down to is that these, unidentified objects or whatever is people who are using a higher percentage of their brain to operate in such a way. But really and truly, I really don't know. I'm just another human living in California. So, don't, don't take my word for it. Like, there could be more than we can possibly know or come to understand on the basis that we won't be able to muster the reality of it, the truth of it, you know? In which form? I would say in the form of, um, oh my god. I'm overthinking stuff here. Jesus. Let me see. Jesus Christ. I'm just thinking too much right now. But um I just I really don't know anymore, but it's just making me think completely outside of the box right now of what I'm discussing in the video. And it's easy for me to lose track of what I've been saying because my mind instantly, it's like I go into this, I could see it right before me, everything I'm talking about. So sometimes I see things and they distract me from my points. And then I start thinking again, like, wait a minute, why did I just all of a sudden, just like forget what I was talking about, or just thinking about? You know, the mind is something else. Our minds are, if, we just have to train ourselves, we have to educate ourselves, and we have to dedicate ourselves. Just like we dedicate our attention to any type or any form of addiction that we might have. And if you miss that, rewind and re listen to what I just said. Because, there's some people who don't tolerate the bullshit. There's some people who are really trying to learn. There's some people who are really trying to invent. There is some people who are really trying to bring more to this world than we can possibly come to know or understand. There's much more for all of us in this world to learn. This world is just, it's just too big. It's just way too big for us to, and the different ideas and different industries that we can get involved into are so diverse that really no one has an excuse why they're not involved in one form of industry, one type of industry. Like, some people just need to get connected. And maybe these people who are operating these UFOs, maybe they're those type of people who don't fuck around, who don't have any time for the bullshit, who have goals, who have plans, who are studying, who are too busy learning something new every single day, not just throwing a day, you know, to the side, on the wayside, but doing something productive, working the mind mentally and learning something new, processing new data, new information into the mind. You know, and maybe that's exactly what they do. We just never know. You know, maybe maybe we're all the group of people who chose not to want to, like, listen at school or whatever, or maybe our IQ level or whatever is not all there or something. I don't know what it is. And I hope and pray that someone will reveal what that is in my life. And, and all that good stuff. But anyways, I'm going to end this video, and I just wanted to really just share that experience with all of you, especially when I was when I was watching this, video on YouTube, this ad about UFOs and all that, and the, Air Force jets, and how fast they travel. I mean, they are, in a way, just as relaxed as we are in any room setting, and they're traveling that fast. I mean, that's something for us to really consider, to really sit down and meditate about, think about. Especially for those that are curious, right? So, anyhow, I will leave all of you. Peace to all of you. Blessings. Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, I just wanted to share that I'm watching this YouTube video. It's called Mars in 4K Update 2021 NASA NASA Planet Mars Mission Documentary. Anyways, so I was watching this, and as I was watching it, well, there's a lot of information in here. Oh, yeah, but as I was watching this, I noticed that the video did not have, like, a Mars logo, or specifying that these are images of Mars. That way, if someone were to take a screenshot of whatever they're watching, at least they will specify that this image was taken in Mars. And, other information, the more information, the better. Because we're not only dealing with Mars, we have images of the moon that should also represent and have a logo of some sort of Earth's moon, because there's different types of moons as well. As a matter of fact, Mars has 2 moons. So we need to start classifying these images accordingly, or else we're all going to be fucking a bunch of fucking confused fucking human beings. Come on, people. Like, this one is a fucking given. Because, I mean, think about it. I was sitting down, I was watching this fucking video, and then I realized, it has nowhere on there. It doesn't have a picture of Mars. Even though the description says Mars, they should have had a fucking watermark or some shit that says, that specifies what planet it is, or whatever. All that information is, highly classified information for researchers, for investigators, for students, all the way around. Even for Google Maps. even for Google Maps. Imagine later on us creating a map of our solar system. Oh, let's put all the moon pictures for this planet, and all the moon pictures for this planet, and for this moon, and this moon, and this moon, and that moon, and that moon, and that moon. And then we're going to discover, like Google, you know, the developers and all them, they're going to figure out, hey, we never really like had people classify these moon pictures. Why? Because we just never looked at that information. We never looked at the information from that perspective, or whatever the case may be, you know? Anyways, so I just wanted to bless everyone and share this information. And I'm trying to remember why I started first originally recording this video. And I think it was because of the jets and the speed. Yeah, the speed and all that. The speed of flight. And all that, right? Especially being in an airplane or a car or a jet. It all seems like the same. So I remember that. Anyways, gotta go. I'm gonna watch this video. Bye.